We are going to dive right in today with a lighthearted take on fall decorating. You are just going to grin at the ideas that are coming your way. You could say that the variety of pumpkins, squash, and gourds available have become sort of a cast of characters. The shape is cool, the color is cool, and we want to make something of it. If they grow in your garden, the cost is just right. We've put together a collection of not so ordinary ways to decorate with squash and gourds this year. Studio 5's brilliant creative contributor, Kelly Lonnecker, has been exploring getting creative with new things to do. Are you kidding me? You've had so much fun with this.
It is really fun. I think because it's leveling up from just like setting it around your house.
Which you can always do.
And it's darling, right? But this is just kind of like that extra little tweak on top that's like, oh, that's something new and fresh and fun.
Okay, first, in the story Cinderella, I think the squash becomes a carriage, right? Or the pumpkin becomes a carriage. In this case, the pumpkin becomes the fairy godmother.
Right. These little fairy squash, I had to name them that because don't they feel like something that should be like walking around in a little garden or something and like peeking out? They are so cute and so easy. Another thing I love about this is butternut squash. Butternut squash has that natural face kind of shape to it, right?
Does. It's an oblong.
So you can make it a lot of different things, but it's also less expensive than like going to buy a pumpkin because it's food. So all of this squash, when you look more at squash as opposed to like a pumpkin, they raise the prices on pumpkins so much because they're huge and they're heavy, but you can buy a butternut squash for a couple dollars.
So how have you decorated these ladies?
So number one, couple of things you need. A good butternut squash, and you want to look for one that can stand up pretty well. That's going to be kind of a trick here. And then you want acrylic paint marker, and I
feel like I would get choosy with the shape too. Like this girl kind of looks like me. She's hippie, she's curvy. You're right. I mean, you can really personalize
very
these.
Diamond shape. This one's a little more pear, right? But how cute would it be to like give each of your kids and like each family member a fairy to make,
cute.
That's kind of designed after them? So cute for your mantle. So what you want is the acrylic paint pen. You can absolutely use a Sharpie, like a micro pen, something that's like a permanent black. But I found that acrylic paint pens just go on smoothly and they don't get stuck. Squash is gonna have kind of a wax coating naturally to protect it. And so like a traditional Sharpie kind of gets gummed up in that, okay? So this is our practice squash, and I'm gonna show you. I drew a couple of little face options.
Really?
This is when I grow my garden, and they hang. They are the funniest, most fun squash ever.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that magical? So this is our practice squash.
Okay.
But I'm gonna let you draw a face just so you can see how cool these markers work.
This is the acrylic marker. Do they come in colors?
They do, yep. So I love the black look, but you're gonna see it just kind of flows on.
It glides.
It does. It's like acrylic paint, and then it stays on. So it will write on glass or metal or squash or anything else. So to find faces, I am a good copier. I'm not a good artist. But if you Google cartoon smiley faces, you're gonna get all kinds of images. And these are just simple shapes. If you look at these faces, it's a little half circle or a circle put together to make these adorable faces.
Oh my gosh, this is so fun.
I know, right?
This is so fun.
So cute.
Okay, all right.
And you can also get different widths of these markers. So I love it because this, you'll notice, is like a really fine tip here. See how fine that is, and then you have fatter ones. Yep, exactly.
All right, so how did you adhere the
So I used fresh herbs for their little crowns because every fairy needs a crown, right? But if you want this to last, so these are going to fade pretty quickly. You've probably got like 4 to 6 hours. So if you're gonna use them as a party centerpiece, absolutely go for like the fresh sage and the oregano, and it just feels very fun. You can also absolutely use silk or plastic greenery that you can find, but really simple. So this is oregano. To make this crown, all you're gonna do is make a little circle.
Just do you tie it?
And then I use some floral wire, right? And you're just gonna wrap around a couple times. You can add in flowers. I added in a little like grass feather. So
these are
forage things around your garden or your yard. This is so fun to be able, because now we're at fall, everything's kind of blooming but gonna fade. So it's perfect time to kind of forage.
This is the paper doll of fall 2022.
It really is so fun.
The squash fairies. All right, we're not done doodling.
No, so this is like meditation squash. That's what I'm calling it, right?
Okay.
Because you're gonna sit down and you're gonna just start drawing, and it's almost like this addictive zen. You know when everyone was into the coloring books big, because it was like, oh, it's this zen thing. You're gonna doodle squash now. So a couple of things.
It's a verb. Get doodle squashing.
It's good. Okay, so a couple of things. Everyone that's seen this is like, I could never do that. These are super simple shapes. So that's what you need to focus on. Again, these are all basically the same flower. but in kind of different shapes and sizes. So do you want to try and draw a flower?
Sure.
Or a leaf? You can pick.
I'll try a flower.
The leaves, I decided to kind of do leaves second, and I just Googled fall or leaf outlines. Okay. So start with your circle, make a big circle in the middle for your sunflower, and then fill it with little circles. Okay, the other tip with these is you want to overlap your flowers. So you're going to start with one big one, and then the next time you draw one on, you're going to overlap it behind so that it kind of has like some gaps in between.
It's dimensional.
Exactly.
My 5th grade art teacher, Mrs. Wymore, would be so proud of me.
She would
right
also
now.
probably teach you about perspective. You don't need to worry about perspective on these flowers. So then you're going to take a thick acrylic marker. So this is our thicker one. No, you're fine.
You're right, this is fun.
Right?
Yes.
It's like very cleansing.
Does it get all over your like wrist?
No, well, it didn't on mine. I guess it depends on how you do it. Okay, so, oh, wow, that's really pretty.
Is that huge?
I love it.
Too big?
It's perfect. Okay, so you do have to be careful, as you see here. You want to like be careful that you're not touching, right?
I smudged, yeah.
But then when you draw your next one over the top, like if we overlap some petals here, then you're gonna go in and color with a thicker marker to fill in your gaps. So you can see kind of here, we started doing that. You don't want to do your filling in until you've got a chunk of flowers done, because otherwise you fill in a space and you're like, oh, I want to put a petal there, and now I can't.
Okay.
So you kind of do a couple flowers and then fill in, and a couple flowers and fill in.
This is so cute.
Super
How long did
fun.
one take you?
The small one was, I don't know, it's probably an hour. Yeah, really. But you're like sitting there watching like a Netflix show or something, right?
You're watching Studio 5, Kelly.
Exactly. You're watching Studio 5. It's not an hour, right? It's like you need a few Studio 5 episodes.
Okay.
Okay, this idea is like kind of spicing up the wreath, right? We always put a wreath on our front door, but the idea of this is kind of a vertical basket, and you can use any basket. So this one was Walmart, like $10-ish. I loved it because it was kind of flat backed, right?
Yes.
So it lends itself very well. This is almost like a little kid's diorama. That's what it reminds me of, as you're like building a box and kind of decorating it as you go.
This is adorable.
The other basket type I think is awesome and just makes this so easy is like an actual hanging basket, but these are really hard to find. So Amazon has a few of these. These make it super easy because you really don't even have to adhere anything. You can see you're just going to kind of stack.
It's like a cornucopia for your door.
Yes, it's like a vertical cornucopia, yes. But look how cute. You just can kind of stack. I can't see. What else do I need in there?
Darling, you need some fluffage.
And just
I said
like
that word twice, and it's not even a word.
Yep, some little fluffage.
All right.
But it's just cute and easy and fun.
Darling.
And this really, you could absolutely hot glue some of these together. Use an adhesive, a cute bow, and it's just kind of fun and different for your front door.
Okay, you can also suspend your squash with beautiful, intricate macrame.
Right? I did not make the macrame.
This is amazing.
Because let's be honest, I can buy 5 of these. So this came as a set of 5 for like $15, right?
Okay.
If you're into macrame, absolutely make your own. But for me, I'm like, so easy and simple, it would cost me more to buy the materials, right?
Is it a type of macrame made for pumpkins? Or?
Nope. So what you want to look at is a macrame plant hanger. So traditionally, you would hang a plant in this,
right? I was like, why is there an opening? What is happening?
What has been done here?
Yeah.
So yep, you want to look macrame plant hanger. This came as a set of 5, and they're so fun because they're all different.
Yes.
I love kind of these macaroon colored pumpkins in the macrame just because it's kind of soft and pretty. If you put this in a corner of a room somewhere, it just is like this soft, it's almost nursery feeling, but just kind of soft and beautiful.
Yes, good words. Or hanging from a chandelier even.
Ooh, yeah, you'd have to have a really well braced. They are, I will say that.
Good point, a strong one.
Make sure your chandelier is braced well.
We're seeing them on your porch though, suspended from kind of your, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's kind of in the corner, but yes, on my front porch. So I'm gonna have, we stack all these pumpkins on the ground, but kind of just raising the eye. It just is so different.
Clever. 30 seconds, tell us your final idea.
Okay, here we've got squash vases. Same idea here with the fun butternut squash, right? So cut off the top, makes it really easy, and you're gonna dig this out just like a pumpkin you would. You can use a long spoon. Keep in mind you're gonna have to go down, so you want more of a long spoon, or even easier,
here she comes.
Pull out the drill, right?
Yeah.
So this is like a 1-inch bit. The bigger the better, but you're just gonna drill down inside, and it's gonna make essentially like a bud vase, okay? The wider you create that, so if you then go dig it out, the more flowers you're gonna be able to fit in, and it's gonna kind of be a little more floppy rather than just that traditional straight up and down flower. But fill it with flowers. They are gorgeous, and these perfect centerpiece, perfect just fall happiness right there.
How long would that last, do you think?
I I think a couple days, right? You might need to pull out the flowers and kind of rinse out the water because it's gonna get kind of soupy in there, right?
Oh my gosh, Kelly, I'm blown away by you each and every month you visit. But this, I think, sets a new bar. So fun. New things you can do, fun things you can do with the squash, the pumpkins, the gourds coming out of your garden or that you're picking up at the grocery store. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Look for the full tutorial on our website, studio5.ksl.com.